Hi everyone, welcome to the channel Sluggers. I'm Anupam Mishra and I'll provide a more detailed introduction about myself and the channel towards the end of the session. Right now, let's just jump into the first error. Okay. Before that, very quickly, see guys, this is not a random list of 50 most essential errors, essential grammatical errors that we have created. There's a certain process that went behind it. And for those of you who want to understand what the process was, I've created a different video where I explain that in detail, and you can check that video out by clicking on the cue card here on the top. Okay, all right, then so now let's get into the first error type. See, let's read each of these sentences one by one. The first one says only one of the applicants who love to code were called for an interview, and the second one says only one of the applicants who loves to code was called for an interview. So you can clearly see that the difference in these two sentences is mainly in terms of these two verbs here. The first one is love, the second is the auxiliary verb. In the first sentence, we have used the plural form of the verbs. Okay, love is also the plural form of the verb, were is also the plural form. In the second case, we have used the singular form, right? The singular form, excuse my handwriting, okay, of the verb love, and even in this case, it's the singular form, right? I'm sure you guys know that in case of verbs, it's the other way around. So for example, in case of nouns, if you have the noun pen and if you add s to the end of the noun, the plural form is the one that has the s and the singular form is the one that doesn't have the s, right? In case of verbs, it's the other way around. If you add the s, it becomes the singular form, and without the s, it is the plural form. Okay, all right. Now we need to figure out which of these two sentences, if at all, are correct. Okay, see. At some point of time in your education history, you must have come across the topic of subject-verb agreement, right? The verb is basically the action that is being conducted in the sentence, and subject is the entity that conducts that action, okay? That is involved in the action that acts, and the object is basically that which is being acted upon, right? So if I say Rahul is driving his car, that means Rahul, the act is that of driving the car. So drive is and driving will be your verbs. The action is represented by the verb. The entity that is undertaking the action, in this case Rahul, will be your subject, and the car will be your object, that is which is the entity on which the action is being done, right? Now the subject verb agreement, the very basic rule is that the verb has to agree with the subject, especially in terms of being singular or plural. That means if the verb is singular, if the subject is singular in form, the verb should also be singular in form, and if the subject is plural in form, the verb also has to be plural in form. Okay, so in this case, in case of this sentence, let's try to understand the sentence by use of a schematic. See, it says only one of the applicants who love to code were called for an interview. That means only one of the applicants who love to code, right? So for the verb love or loves, the apt subject here is not only one. The apt subject here is the applicants who love to code. And applicants is, we know that it is plural in nature, right? This is plural in nature, and hence the verb that should be used here should also be plural in nature. And hence you cannot use loves here. The correct verb here will be love. Similarly, if you read the rest of the part of the sentence, it says only one of the applicants was or were called for an interview. Okay, so now for the auxiliary verb was or were, for this set of verbs here, what is the apt subject? The apt subject is not all the applicants, because not all of them were called, right? The apt subject here is only one of the applicants. Like this one applicant was called for an interview, and then hence we can see here that this is the subject in this case is singular in nature. The subject in this case is, just one second. The subject in this case is singular in nature, and hence it should take a singular verb, right? Not the plural verb. Okay, so in case of, especially whenever you have these sentences which are in the form of one of the something, you need to be careful about which is the verb that is being used with the group, and which is the verb which is being used with the one-off element that is being taken out of the group. Okay, so the verb that is being used with the one-off element will always be singular in nature, because in that case the subject is just one, and the verb that is being used with the group, okay, one of the something, right? The something is the group, will usually be plural in nature, because assuming that a group is going to be a plural subject. Okay, so the correct, in fact, none of these sentences will be correct here, because the first one is in the first sentence the love part is correct, but the verb part is incorrect. In the second sentence, the Was part is correct, but the loves part is incorrect, right? So yeah, that's about your error number one, the one of ambiguity. The category of this error is subject-verb agreement. Okay, so now I've given you another example. Only one of the concept cars showcased in the expo run on a 12-cylinder engine. Let me know now. You can give this a try by yourself. Okay, you can type your answer in the comment section. What do you think should be the? Do you think if it is a correct, if the sentence is grammatically correct? If not, like what should be the grammatically correct form of the sentence? Okay. Finally, guys, my quick introduction. I'm Anupam Mishra and I'm Lucknow alumnus. I have worked in the past with organizations such as Hotstar, UNICEF, Apollo TAS, IMS, etc. I've also worked with an academy as an educator in the past, recognized by their Johnny Ive Award. And I was regarded as one of the top VRC educators that they had. These are my CAT credentials, and Sluggers is basically my endeavor to plug in all the crucial gaps that I believe there are in the test prep industry, starting with the CAT exam. Okay, now, yeah, so that's about me. Do move on to the next era. Okay.